got a chance to see the new episodes of Cobra Kai Season 6. Let's talk about them right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, if we want to talk about comics, I got the new cover for Lords of LA #2. I have some more covers coming in as well. This is my vampire mob set in 1950s Hollywood that follows a lounge singer from the 1950s who just comes to the city looking for adventure and fame, and she becomes a lounge singer in what she doesn't realize is a vampire haven. She becomes a pawn in tug of war between the two rival dons, and she is turned into a vampire, having to leave her child behind. She's a newborn because she's afraid she is going to hurt it. She comes back 60 years later to wreak her revenge on both of them. So here's my issue 2 and issue 1, and I do sign them. So if you want a copy, just let me know in the comment section. Also, if you are familiar with Timothy Zahn, he is the creator of Thrawn. And he and Kevin J. Anderson, who just did Dune, among other things, and Brandon Easton, who's done Superman, and Peggy Carter from Marvel. Just a pile of amazing writers are getting together to do a Green Hornet anthology. And we're going to be launching that on Kickstarter. We're just about to hit 100 followers over the last couple of days. So definitely check out the link in the description below and sign up to be notified about when we launch beginning of the year. All right, so let's jump into the second portion. So I guess they broke Season 6 up into 3 5-episode blocks. Which I see that Netflix is doing this a lot now because he just did it with Arcane, where they broke it into 3 pieces. And that's every week. They're releasing 3 episodes per week, where here it's like every couple of months. They're releasing the other third of the season. So this is going to be 15 episodes this season. So this will be the longest season of the entire series. So I do have an affinity for this show because I work not only with one person in this cast, but 2. I think everybody knows that I did a supernatural Western film with Eric Roberts, and Marty Cove was also in the cast as well. We won a few awards with that. It is streaming everywhere for the most part, and it is what it is. It's a little $350,000 film. It's not, it's tiny. But anyway, he loved Westerns, so he came and played with us. That's what I have to call it. It's just a movie that we played with because it was such a tiny budget. And while we were shooting, and this is obviously long before Cobra Kai was ever done, Billy Zabka came to the set because he didn't have anything going on, and he was trying to restart his career. So he was doing a podcast type situation where he was doing interviews, and he came out to interview the cast because he and Marty had remained friends all these years. So I can't, give enough praise to the fact that this happened for him. I'm very happy. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. That, this series in the last 6 years, has reignited his career, I think, better than any kind of podcast would have done. And also, I recently worked with Annalisa Cochran, who plays Dimitri's girlfriend. She doesn't pop up very often, but she's an excellent actress. We just did a Crispin Glover film with her in it called A Blind Bargain. I'm not sure when that's being released. But yeah, so I've worked with not one, but 2 members of the cast, and I also have met Billy. So technically that would be 3. So again, I'm glad that this is done so well for all these people. Again, the nicest people everywhere, you know. As far as this season is concerned so far, because again, it hasn't ended, this is a pretty weak season where it's kind of gotten away from some of the characters. That it's almost a good thing that this is ending this season, because I think that they've run the course. I think that they've run out of ideas for what the series is. But on a positive note, they really have taken the mythos of the Karate Kid and really augmented it. I got to say that these guys that have, executive produced and directed these series really had a love for the material, did not stray from the material, and kept all of these characters on the beaten path. There's nothing here that deviates from what these characters were before and what they are now. They're definitely recognizable from the movies to now. They didn't try to inject anything into it of their own personal politics or anything to that effect, and I really, really appreciate that this is basically a squeaky clean series that can be watched by the entire family. So if anybody is a fan of the original Karate Kid, nobody is going to be disappointed by watching these 6 seasons unfold. And like I said, it's taken all the characters from the original pieces. They brought in, even people who are, had very minor roles in the original movies and brought them in. And I think that there's a really great job across the board. And yeah, so this is the weakest of the series, but it's still engaging and the characters are still fun to watch. So it's still a good season. I can't really complain. So this is about the Sakai Takai, if you say that 100 times fast, where Tori has broken off and gone back to Cobra Kai because she lost her mom and she was lost in general. And Robbie and her are on a break. And so some of the directing on here is kind of weak because, he literally, in the middle of a fight, will turn towards Tori and the camera will stay on him. He's just gawking, where it's just odd. I don't think anybody in the middle of a fight would just stop focusing on their opponent to look at a girl. If anything, it's a quick glance. It's not, I'm turning towards the camera and staying there. Oh, bam! And it happens, okay, I can see it once, but it happens over and over again where it just gets repetitive. We get it. He's distracted. But they overplay it. So then on top of that, the ending. So we have the bullies. I think they're Korean in this case. I think he goes to Korea to amass this, to amass his little army, and he goes back to one of his senseis. So the names of these are something Benavudes, Barcelona, which is obviously some kind of Portuguese or something to that effect. Dog in the Fight, Snakes on a Plane, Blood In, Blood Out, and Yujung Dango. However you say that. But the girl that plays the Chosen hooks up with her, the right-hand girl of Cobra Kai. I think she's great. I think she's hot, too. Of course, Courtney that plays the mom, she's from The Big Bang Theory. She's really hot, too. I really like her addition to it. And then her relationship with Chosen, I really like that. And then we have, I forgot the name of the character that they kind of make him shit his pants. So they get him to come back. And I'm like, well, he's not really replacing anyone right now. And they literally jump back and forth from Barcelona to the United States and then jump back again in a plane. And I'm like, you know how many hours that is? That's like flying at least 24 hours back and forth, but they get back pretty damn quick. I don't know how that works. I really like that they started fighting, her and Chosen, and then they ended up kissing. I thought that was really cool. I like when the relationships in here are pretty good. I like them, pretty much all of them. And then we had, he's not really a Russian guy, but he's this big tall guy, and he likes Sam to the point where, he wants what's his face to just go, Zolo's character, just to go away, Miguel. But the end goes completely off. Kenny is the other guy that they brought back. I'm glad they brought him back because some of his fight stuff is really good. I think he fights really well, and he's engaging. So I liked all that. And the ending, though, they're building up. Oh, that's right. And then Cobra Kai gets knocked out, and they can't knock them out completely. So I liked how they brought them back in. I thought that was interesting. And then the other girl that's with the Russian group or whatever, which ends up being Silver's group, the girl in there, I think, is very high energy. She does a good job. She does her own little podcasting on her phone and stuff like that. And I like that she plays the mean girl, and she does it really, really well, where it's engaging and cute simultaneously. But yeah, so I like a lot of the additions to the cast. But my problem was the ending. They're in this Takai Saikai thing, and the group that gets booted because of medical enhancing drugs that they're on, whatever. They're on hormones, steroids, whatever they're on. So they just appear out of nowhere and start beating up the judges. What? So the ending goes, that turns into a big brawl. So instead of actually finishing out the tournament, the whole ending is just a big brawl. They lost me there. They lost me. It was stupid and silly. It just was silly. I'd rather them had finished the tournament than this turned into this silly brawl. I don't know what else to call it. It was just silly. And I would definitely not have ended it that way. I like Silver showing back up. I like a lot of it, but again, it just got silly. It just got silly. I am looking forward to the ending, but unlike what they did with Arcane, where the characters went completely off the rails, at least here everything stayed outside of the ending of episode 10. Everything else, for the most part, stayed on course. I don't know why they ended up just derailing the whole Sakai Takai thing. And then the whole thing with Mr. Miyagi, they actually have Mr. Miyagi show up and they CGI'd his face. I thought it looked pretty decent. I mean, the way it moved, obviously, was CGI, but the look of it, I thought they did a good job, especially on a TV budget. I thought they did a good job with that. But anyway, that's it for me. It was interesting. Again, it's probably the lowest of the Cobra Kai seasons. But on the other side of the coin, Alicia Hana Kim, that's the other one who plays. Oh, she plays Kim. Okay, but she's the right-hand girl from Cobra Kai. I like her a lot. But anyway, so it's still good for me. It's still up there at an 8. It's still up there at an 8. It didn't knock it down, maybe a half a point just for it to being. I would say some of the other seasons are a 9, but it didn't knock it down that much for me. I still was engaged. I still liked it, but it's just it got a little silly. Got a little silly. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Check out some of my other videos as well. Give me that like, give me that thumbs up if you can, and why not join? Yeah. Ring that bell, ding, ding. Get notified in your feed about when I release new videos. again, we do movies and we do comics and we do games and all this stuff. Yeah, why not become part of the Destiny Horizons team? All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Remember to go into the link below to get signed up for Green Hornet. And you can also buy me a cup of coffee down there. The link is down there as well. All right, see you guys later. Have a great week.